You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
And after just celebrating our 100th episode yesterday, more excited than ever to get really deep into now all of these naturopathic medicine things that I talk about, all this functional medicine, all of the Ayurvedic, all of the things that help you to live the absolute best life you can. And I understand, I live in the real world as well. So do you. All we can do is we can do our best. That's really what it's about. Is doing your best is so much better than just say, well, I can't go 100%, so I might as well not do anything. No, that's not it at all. If you can give me 80% is just so much better than what, 20, 30, or 0. So let's keep it going. Let's keep trying to get just 1% better every single week. That over the course of a year is a phenomenal thing. Because remember, this is a journey that we're going through. I didn't perfect any of this myself for months and then years and everything. I'm still getting better to this day. My nutrition's still getting better. I'm still eating cleaner, all of those specific things. And, to be honest, I just have so many less cravings for unhealthy food than I did even just a year ago. So again, it's just a process. You don't have to master it your very first week or even month. All right. Just keep moving in that direction. Let's talk about a big issue today. Why am I talking about this when it comes to your wellness on a Total Wellness Tuesday? And that's because stress is easily the most damaging thing we can do to our bodies, and it's also one of the leading causes of disease. Stress accounts for the cascade event that causes most disease. So controlling your stress response is really your key to living longer. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means this. When you get stressed, all right? When something is stressing you from work, from a relationship, from something in your life, what happens is your body starts to literally constrict. It starts to get tight. It starts to get tense. It turns on the fight or flight based response. And when that happens, you actually start to lower immunity. You start to lower your metabolic rate because, again, you're in survival mode. You start to lower your hormone production of DHEA, your anti-aging hormone. You start to lower progesterone because it gets converted to cortisol. You start to lower testosterone, start to lower all these great hormones that we need for anti-aging. Libido starts to decrease because, again, we're in this survival mode. Mood starts to go down. Feelings of anxiety, feelings of being overwhelmed, feelings of irritability go up. And all of this can be tested with a simple hormone adrenal-based test, but also it's just this event that's taking place in your body, this survival-based response, this fight or flight, that's leading to this constriction of arteries and weakening of your body. So we know that happens. That's clinically proven. A doctor, very smart doctor, quite a while ago, many, many decades ago now, Dr. Hans Selye actually came up with what's called the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal response. Before then, it was called the alarm response. So there's essentially 3 stages to stress. There's this alarm stage where we're very, very stressed. Then our body can't respond with as much adrenal output, and we go down to this thing called resistance-based stage. And then there's the exhaustion stage, which is what people call adrenal exhaustion. You literally cannot produce the cortisol that you need to as an anti-inflammatory and other things to get the most energy that your body needs. And this can be tested through a hair tissue mineral analysis, as well as the saliva-based cortisol test, the hormone test. So again, I love data, right? So I love testing functional medicine-based tests because then I can just show people, look, this is where you're at. It's clinical. Here it is. Here's the numbers. Here's what we need to do about it now. But let's also talk about how we can control our response to stress, because stress can also come from internal triggers like poor digestion, intestinal permeability, which is leaking proteins, all of those things. But now, how do we calm our body down? Well, the first step is awareness. you have to catch yourself being stressed. And how can you do this? Well, you'll feel your body tense up at your desk, or whether you're in your car driving to work. And I know so many people listen to the Cabral Concept driving to work, and I do appreciate that. Hopefully, you're trying to calm your body down as you're listening to this. And you want to catch yourself. You catch yourself not breathing. When the body is tense, it stops breathing. It basically just holds itself really tight. Your traps, your upper shoulders get pulled up towards your ears a little bit. You start breathing, if at all, through your chest, not your belly. So what I want you to do is first just become aware that you're holding your breath, that you're tensing up your body. And then after that, what I want you to do is just say, okay, I'm tensed up. Now, what do I need to do? Okay, I need to take a slow breath in through my nose. Even if you are not a great nasal breather, try to breathe in through your nose for about 5 seconds. Let's try it right now. And then out for 7 seconds. Try that 3 times, just 3 times. Now that's going to last for about 12 seconds, right? So that's over 30 seconds. Now just 3 breaths of that. What that means is when you start to breathe into your belly, do your best. In for 5 seconds, so a shorter period of time than you breathe out. That's what matters. If you can only breathe in for 3 seconds, that's okay, but then breathe out for 5. Breathe out for a longer period so that you're not hyperventilating. The out breath is much more important. It has to be longer, okay? And that might take time. Originally, I was so tensed up that my out breath was like a second. I literally couldn't breathe out slowly because all of the nerves coming off of my diaphragm were just so excited, so locked up that it was very hard for me. It really was. But I just practiced, and I just told myself I don't need to master it right away. I can just practice. So that 5-second breath in, 7 seconds out. Just relax your body as you feel it coming out. Take those 3 to 5 breaths, and then the stress is going away, right? Then respond to that stress appropriately. I honestly believe that if you do that, because I see it happen all the time, your blood pressure will go down, and you'll then look at the event of whatever is happening with a much clearer mind, because you will have dropped those cortisol levels. You won't be seeing red like you were seeing before. And yes, you might still experience the stress. Maybe something happened. You got some news that you didn't want to hear, but you'll be better able to respond to it. I do the same thing now. If something happens, whatever happens, I just kind of calm my body down. That's the big thing. If one of my daughters wakes me up at night, okay, I'm like, I really don't want to get up right now, but I have to calm that stress response. And I'm like, all right, now I can better appropriately respond to one of my, kids or whatever's going on at work. So, and what's the best way to do that? Well, the best way to do that is really understanding that whatever is going on right now, that it is temporary, no matter how bad it is. And I know that at the time, it doesn't seem that way. It seems like this is the biggest thing. It's the worst thing that could possibly ever happen. But you've gone through this before in the past, something like it, something stressful like this, and you've gotten through it. You have. And you get through this as well. Maybe you don't know how you're going to get through it, but if you just at least have the faith that you will get through it, you'll be able to then empower yourself to take better control of the situation no matter how bad it seems. And I really believe that, again, this could happen earlier in the day, whatever it is, try to get through that day. Try to breathe through the day. I know it's probably not going to be a great day, but as you go to bed that night, try to understand that when you wake up tomorrow really is its own new starting point. It's its own day. You're going to have more opportunities. New things are going to present themselves. And I try never to make really stressful decisions that day. Even though I want to send that email, even though I want to do that thing, I try to relax my body. I can even write the email, but I say, I'm not going to send this, whatever it is, or make that phone call, whatever it might be, until tomorrow. And hopefully by then, cooler heads will prevail. And you have to keep in mind, I'm that Vata Pitta, as they say in Ayurvedic medicine, and I can be quick. When I was young, I had a very hot temper. I was, up until maybe I got sick around 17 years old. And that obviously changed my life, becoming very, very sick. And I was actually hot-tempered when I was sick because I was very, very upset. I was very, very angry. That whole time when I was I was upset. I said, why me? Why am I so sick? All of these different things. But I had to understand that me being stressed out was making me more sick. And that I understood eventually, and I tried to teach this to people, that if someone brings stress into your life, you're only empowering them if you let it get to you that badly. You're only giving away your own energy. The stress is not hurting them that you feel, it's hurting yourself. You're actually doing a disservice to yourself by allowing that person or whatever that thing might be to get to you. Try to calm your body down, understanding that you need to do what's right for you. You need to do what's best for you. You need to take care of yourself, and you need to take care of yourself for others. It's really, really important. So go back to the breath. It's always means coming back to the breath. If someone I meet in my office and I do blood pressure testing and their blood pressure is high, or their resting heart rate is high, meaning like it's over the mid-60s, or their blood pressure is over 136, over 90, I teach them right there in the office how to calm their body down, how to calm that stress response down, how to breathe. And we can actually just watch their response go down. We can watch their heart rate go down. We can watch their blood pressure go down. You can do this. And to be honest, this is the key to longevity. Better than any supplement you can find, better than anything else there is out there, because stress ultimately breaks the body down. It increases cortisol. It increases inflammation, which leads to all of these other diseases. All right, it leads to the poor digestion. It leads to all of these things. Start with your stress response. If you do that, you are well on your way to not only achieving better health, but really to changing your life. And that's what it's all about. Thank you, everyone, for once again tuning into another Cabral Concept.
I want to sincerely thank you for your support of this podcast. I couldn't do it without you, and I mean that. I truly do. I also want to make sure you knew that we now have multiple ways for you to find your answers to the most difficult health, wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging questions. You can find podcast-specific topics like thyroid, adrenal, hormones, sleep, digestion, Ayurveda, and many more at stephencabral.com/podcasts that will then link you to your favorite Apple, Spotify, and other podcast players. Plus, all new podcasts and weekly exclusive video content is being added to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Stephen Cabral. And that's Stephen with a PH. Head on over and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the exclusive content. Lastly, if you've ever found any of my podcasts or books to be helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a review on iTunes or your favorite media player for the podcast. Rating and subscribing to the YouTube and podcast allow me to reach more and more people and help spread my mission of healing throughout the world. Thank you again for being a part of this movement.